Hey everybody, Stephen Brooks here with the Brooks team, powered by Highlands Residential Mortgage. Wanted to touch on a hot topic today. One of the hottest topics in the country is credit balances. Right now we're hearing U.S. consumers are carrying over $1 trillion in credit card debt. It's a lot, highest it's ever been. So I think kind of getting back down to the basics and explaining to people, what is really credit, what it's there for, what are some great credit scores, what are some not so great credit scores, how does it impact you, as far as when you go to borrow money again, and all we know, the main thing we know about credit is that it is a promise to pay later. In its simplest form, it's buy now, pay later. Advantages of credit, it's convenient. You're not having to carry around large sums of cash in your pockets. Nobody wants that. It's useful for emergencies. You got a water heater that breaks, you can put it on the credit card. Often required to hold, some sort or type of reservation, and eliminates the need or ability to gives you the ability to purchase things sooner rather than later. Disadvantages. We've all seen those crazy high interest rates. We know they can be anywhere from 20 to 35%. That's a ton of interest, and it's compounding on a credit card. Late fees. If you've ever been late on a credit card payment, God love you, that's going to be a pretty steep penalty, for missing that payment. Definitely it gives you the temptation to overspend. How many of us have been in college before? We got our first credit card and we realized we could order pizza at 12:30 in the morning, and we financed that pizza, and it was the best pizza on the planet, but we were paying 20-25% interest on that pizza if we didn't pay it off at the end of the month. So at the end of the day, that's an expensive pizza. And it can cause large amounts of debts. I think all of us have known family members or friends, that just get in too far over their head. They can't make the minimum payment. They end up having to go to bankruptcy, face their creditors. I mean, that's an awful situation that nobody wants to be put into. Credit score, we get asked a lot of what goes, what is it about? It's solely a prediction of how well you're going to pay, pay your debt, the more late pays you have towards any type of debt, the more negative your score is going to report. And, the lower that score gets, the higher interest you're going to pay. If you're applying for a mortgage, the lower that credit score is, somebody that has a credit score at 640 is going to be paying more interest than somebody with an 800 credit score. The lower credit score is a higher risk for that lender. And, the FICO score model looks at more than 20 factors in 5 different categories: how you pay your bills, amount of money you owe, length of credit history, and what type of credit do you have. There's many types. We know there's credit cards, we know there's installment loans such as car loans, we know there's student loans, and also how many times have you applied for new credit lines as well. That goes into your scoring model too. And we get asked all the time, what's a perfect credit score? If you've got an 800 or above, that's considered perfect credit. Anything, if you're a 620 or below, that's considered poor credit. Even though mortgage loans can be done all the way down to a 580 credit score, it's not going to be a picnic. It can be done, but again, you're facing higher rates. You're facing a more stringent guidelines, as well. And so it takes a lot more effort to get that transaction done. 621, 690 is okay. It's fair. Anything 691, 720, it's considered good. 721 to 750, you're getting into the excellent category. 751 to 800 is considered excellent credit. And again, guys, the higher that score goes, the less interest you're going to pay in the long run. And that's ideally what you want. Thanks again, guys. It's great talking to y'all. Have a great one.